3, 2. I think we're live now, right? There should be an end to the streaming madness.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone who does eventually find this stream after we've been live. We do thank you. So I'm looking on my channel now, Harry, and I think we have actually tried to launch like 8 streams.
Yeah, we're 8 streams in, but this one is working. I've got it on my other tab, Quinny. We are live.
We're ready to rock and roll. And we were just talking, Harry, but in between, it seems like we were in between the technical glitches, but we've both got Premier League action this week in real life. I'm going to be going to Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, or as I like to call it, John McGinn versus Odsonne Edouard. And you are going to go and see the title contenders themselves at home, Arsenal at the Emirates.
I'm buzzing, mate. Honestly, first, obviously, super grateful to Dan and Sorare for sort of sorting us out with that. It's been, I didn't expect, to be fair, I didn't think it would happen, or, we both didn't think it would happen. It was too late notice, but he said there was two tickets going, and I obviously jumped at the chance to get on a bus up from Cardiff to London tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm buzzing for it. They obviously won 4-0 in a week against Everton, so I'm hoping we can see a repeated maybe result of that. It was funny, I texted Dan, I said, Martinelli brace on the weekend. And then he scored a brace midweek, and he said, I thought of you as soon as he scored the second. So maybe my prediction was premature as well. But no, I'm buzzing. I've just seen Josh is in the chat. If he kicks me out, Quinny, there's going to be some trouble. I'm going to be marching down to Oxford to have a word with Joshy, because it's just not on.
I've just put a wee tweet out now, guys. So if you do want to help us out with all the glitches, there is a wee tweet just saying live and loud with the... I'll put the thumbnail on it as well, so that it's a wee bit better to see. There we go. I'll
give it a little retweet when it comes up on my...
Just a wee one, guys, just to help us out. No plan on doing any giveaways, especially now we're a wee bit behind schedule, Harry boy. The deadline is fast approaching. We've got some in real life action. There's tons of heroes and legends rejoining us through the assault course of live streams that we put them through to try and find us today. But they've managed to bob and weave and climb the rope ladders and do all the stuff. They've made it here, So we should probably just get into some of the good stuff. We'll let you guys in the live chat tell us what you're watching out for this weekend. Me and Harry will be doing the Saturday afternoon action, getting Premier League 3 o'clock kickoffs. I'll be driving down to Birmingham. I'll be leaving here at dawn or something. So everyone wish me luck. I'll be catching up with podcasts and all sorts of stuff doing that drive. It's like 5 or 6 hours. I'll be meeting Stish. And similar to you, Harry, I actually had requested the game because of the tickets I bought and stuff. And they came back to me and they said, Quinny, great news. We've got more tickets if you want to go and, get the community involved or whatever. So I did put a little Twitter competition out. If you want to come and see Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, I didn't really say when I would close it, but I guess we do need to make arrangements for tomorrow. So I'll probably close it at like 5 o'clock today. Then there's a tweet on my Twitter page. Can I put it on screen? I probably can. If you want to come to the game, just let it be known in that tweet, and I'll pull 3 winners. 3 people. We come to the game for nothing with me and Stish. Stish is taking one of the tickets. So 2/3 of the End Product podcast. Obviously, Tony can't be there. He will be playing Celtic at that time, so he won't be coming to the Aston Villa game or anything. But it should be good crack. And let me just check. Yeah, it's on screen. Oh, no, it's Harry's screen. It's on screen. Oh, no, my screen's not playing ball with me. 2 seconds, guys. Just before the glitches and stuff, it needs to be told again where we're going. And that should be it. And I don't think it is. Lovely. Okay, cool. Another glitch to deal with. Fantastic. Oh no, there we go. There it is. Lovely. So that's the tweet there for the ticket giveaway. If you're interested, if you can get to Birmingham for Saturday around 2 o'clock-ish or so to obviously meet and organise tickets, then there's a giveaway there. 3 Premier League tickets for nothing, courtesy of Sorare via Quinny 3001. So feel free to get involved in that, and I'll deal with that later today. But it should be a good wee kind of community event for me as well, a little bit, Harry. Are you going to be hanging about London yourself before the bus home, or what?
The bus home's not till 7:30, so there's a couple hours after the game, I guess. If anyone's sort of about, but the whole sort of point of tomorrow is, I'm basically surprising my best mate, who's a massive Arsenal fan, to go watch his beloved team. That's kind of the whole goal of tomorrow. I'm not just pointlessly going to, not that there's no point of going to watch a Premier League game, but there is this sort of method behind the madness, sort of like I'm making a video about it and whatever. So that'll be great. I'll definitely be hanging around for a few hours, like you just alluded to, after the game. If anyone's in North London, I guess. I'm pretty sure it's North London, isn't it? That's where Arsenal.
North London.
Yeah. So it should be fun. And if anyone's about, then cheeky little North London Sorare meetup. Why not?
I'm going to go and delete all the other streams, Harry, because there's some people here saying we think that other people are
They're lost in the
they're hanging about in the assault course. They're still in the assault course, so we'll just we'll pull the plug on those.
They're in the amateur draft. Just leave them be. They're in the amateur draft. Bless them. They're stuck.
And then how did more actions delete forever? Oh, I understand that deleting these is permanent. Yep. See you later.
Ooh.
Bogus streams. Anywho. But Harry, I've got some teams I'm buzzing about. Normally what we'll do when we're going through the streams, when we do this on a Friday, normally when we don't have all these gremlins in the way or whatever, is we'll run through all the kind of predicted 11s, we'll do the drafts or whatever. Now, I did my drafts this morning, right? Quite last minute, and I don't know in terms of the drafts how I'm kind of feeling in terms of optimism-wise or whatnot. How have you got on yourself with putting your drafts together this week?
Yeah, so I prioritized my Premier League one because I wanted to go watch I wanted to watch Arsenal players play live, and I don't have any actual sort of limited rare or super rare Arsenal or Bournemouth cards. Actually, I do have one Bournemouth card, David Brooks, but he's not going to play. So yeah, I wanted to optimize my Premier League draft. I'll be honest, I've not really done too much research into the other drafts. That's just being completely honest. The only reason I'm doing the other 4 drafts is because there's so coins available now. So I do have 12 lineups going out this weekend, which is probably a record for my club, I think. Over the last, since playing for over 2 years now, I don't think I've ever had over 10 lineups, never mind 12. So yeah, no, I'll be honest, I've prioritized the Premier League one, but I've literally just thrown together what I could have with the other 4. But yeah, that's just out of sheer sort of laziness, I guess, and prioritizing, what I'm here to do really is to win cards in other divisions. That's just ultimately, that's it. I can't sort of sugarcoat it,
Yeah, it's well, that is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's, one of those ones. But we've got, I think, Harry, we've probably reclaimed everyone out the assault course. Everyone's found their way to us here. So there's a bunch of us here. Thanks to everyone that is joining us. You've got no reason at this point to like the stream, but if you could, that would be smashing. So we'll just focus a nice week in 10 minutes here or something on the Premier League draft, since we're both going to be at the game and there's kind of a lot of stuff bubbling over there. And in between maybe the rest of Europe, we'll give them their time as we normally do, but we'll probably maybe a bit more than last week kind of cherry pick out the key fixtures that are top versus bottoms, or strong head-to-heads, or that kind of thing. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Sounds good to me.
Right, so let's go and get the fixtures open for the Prem, because obviously we know Villa are playing Palace. It's the biggest game of the weekend. Everyone knows that. And as we just heard there, Arsenal are at home at Bournemouth, which should be one of the power fixtures. It's probably one of the fixtures to start with, I suppose. Otherwise, Chelsea Leeds, probably a good game. Liverpool Man U's the headline act, of course.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I don't know, it's a lot of kind of coin toss matches. Man City, Newcastle,
Liverpool, Man United, it's a tough one. 2 big teams sort of battling it out there. So maybe that. There's a lot of middle of the road sort of, Villa Palace, Southampton Leicester, Forest Everton. They're all kind of 6-pointers, aren't they, really?
Yep, totally. And it's like, for some of these players, there's probably some good picks in here for the draft as proper differentials. But I think you really need to have your finger on the pulse with these squads. Who is in form? Who will play? Who is actually going to come out the victor in some of these matches that are 6-pointers, all across the table. Arsenal Bournemouth, but I think everyone's eyes will be drawn to that, Harry, as the goals galore game of the weekend, probably. And Arsenal's predicted 11 looks to be Aaron Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gab Mag, and Zinchenko in the back 4. Midfield at Odegaard, Party Time, and Granite Worktop. And then up front, Bukayo Saka, Leo Trossard, more likely than Nketiah, alongside the man you've mentioned already, Martinelli. Very strong Arsenal team, Harry.
It is, yes. One change from midweek, I believe. I think Jorginho started ahead of Party. Party came off the bench and scored quite well, actually, AA-wise. So I'm guessing he's sort of fully fit now. Trossard started midweek and Nketiah came off the bench. I think got an assist. But yeah, it looks like Trossard's got that sort of number 9 role, but he's not really, like, they're all just sort of intertwining and, mixing and matching. They're very sort of, hybrid sort of forwards, I guess, the front 3. But yeah, no, wicked team. I just can't see Arsenal not scoring a couple here. And I really fancy the clean sheet. I mentioned it in one of my Premier League draft videos midweek. Like, I think Ramsdale's a shoo-in for a clean sheet. He might not have too many saves to make, but I just fancy the clean sheet big time here.
Yeah, clean sheet opportunity on the odds is 55%. XG for Arsenal 2.6 to Bournemouth's 0.7. And looking at the Bournemouth predicted team, it's not really much of a surprise, I suppose. We've got Neto in goals, Marcos Sinise, obviously formerly of Feyenoord in defence, with Zamora, Stevens and Smith. Midfield looks kind of combative enough with Billing and Lerma, whose scores on L5s, I don't know if that's broken.
all the L5s are mental, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, like Jefferson Lerma's got an L5 of 130, which is fun.
Yeah, which is fun. Jack Stevens has one of 157. Neto has a 158.
And then Dango Ouattara, Hamed Traore, and Jadon Anthony in an attacking trio supporting Dom Solanke. So I don't hold my breath. Yeah, I don't hold my breath for Bournemouth here, but
neither do I. No, neither do I. But I just think they have legs in that team. Like, counter attack is the only sort of, they're not going to outplay Arsenal at the Emirates, are they? If we're being honest, no one is. No. So the chances, the only way this team's going to score goals is one set pieces or two counter attack. But I still think Arsenal have too much for them. To be honest, I think they can deal with that.
Now, the actual weekend will start with Manchester City playing Newcastle on Saturday, 12:30. That'll be the televised game. Great one to get the weekend started. And Man City look to be starting with Ederson in goals, Akanji, Diaz and Ake making up a quasi-back three with Gundogan, Silky Ilke and Rodri in front of them. And then this midfield four, do whatever you want, go and win the football match team of Mahrez, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish. Just looking to find wherever Haaland finds himself in the 18-yard box. Looks like a cheat code team. This looks like your pal that played Football Manager and shows you this team and you're like, mate, that would never happen in real life. Like, you're not even taking this game seriously.
But it's happening in real life.
But it is happening in real life, Like, mate, no one would play this formation. Well, Pep Guardiola would, and there you go.
Frightening.
Newcastle's predicted 11, but that's not too bad, is it, Harry?
It's a decent team. It's compact. It's got legs. It can defend, and there's goals in the team. They can stretch defenses. Say Maxime Almiron, there's legs there. Isak as well is always good for a goal. And the middle three are absolute dogs. They'll work all day long to get that ball back and to get it up the field to the sort of front three and to try and make things happen. But are they going to get enough of the ball at the Etihad to do that? To be effective? And I don't know. They might defend well. Man City might take a little while to break them down, but I just can't see anything other than a Man City comfortable victory here, if I'm honest. Even though Newcastle have been great this season, I just don't see them troubling City.
Yeah, I hope not as well, but stranger things have happened. But the defence is solid, like you say, it will be tough to break down. Nick Pope in goals, Trippier and Byrne in fullback, with Botman and Schär in centre defence, midfield three of Willock, Joe Linton and Sean Longstaff. Bruno G looks to be questionable for this game, with ASM up front with Almiron and Isak, 70% over Callum Wilson at 30%. But I think this game, if Newcastle are going to get anything, how do we quick check back here at this City team, because with no Walker or no guys like this, there will be space for this back three. If this back three stays compact, it will be in the wide spaces, obviously, where a long ball is quite easy to send ASM onto. And equally, if they do try and stretch out, there might be some channel balls it's potentially risky on the break, very risky, but City don't mind playing that with Ederson sweeper keeper, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, no, it's going to be. I was just looking at how tall Newcastle's team. I can't see City getting much luck really from set pieces. Obviously, Haaland's big. Diaz is pretty big. Akanji is as well. But other than that, you're looking at Dan Burn, Botman, Schär, Joe Linton. There's some big boys in this Newcastle team. I just think the only way City are going to break them down is if they literally, break them down. I just can't see City really scoring from any set pieces this weekend. But Watch Grealish score a header now and just shut me up.
There is a shout that maybe Walker's on 45% with Akanji and right centre back, so maybe that could deal with that a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised to see that myself. Yeah,
I can't see them playing three centre halves in that sort of three, if that makes sense. It just doesn't, especially if you're playing Rodri and Gundogan. None of them can. I mean, Rodri can semi-run, but they can't keep up with Maxi. Do you know what I mean? There's just a different level of pace. So I'd be shocked if we didn't see at least Walker or Rico Lewis or one of the sort of full backs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just trying to get this England one to open again. There's a lot of heroes and legends in the live chat, of course. Sorry, Josh, the Grim Reapers joined us. We still get Sven McDermott here with us as well. I see Ugo, good to see you back in the house, my man. James Rendell, I see Sam Ty, I see David Sim, I see Sorare Viking. Lots of heroes and legends. Fist bumps to everyone that has made it across. There's over 130 of you heroes here. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined us. But about 40 likes, could we get that over the 50 mark? I think we probably could. Help us out here, guys. But outside of that, in the Premier League Day are the games. Oh, come on, man. Tried to buy this a bit of time to drop down for me. The next game we'd probably want to look at is Liverpool Man U, because that's the big salt shaker. I'm going to flip to your screen, Harry. Have you got Play Sharper on?
I can get it up for you. Yeah, share this tab. Yeah, should be on.
Okay, there you go. Beautiful.
Yeah. Liverpool United, massive game. Obviously, United just won the Carabao Cup on last weekend against Newcastle, so they'll be flying high in terms of morale and confidence, I guess. But Liverpool got a good win midweek. They look like to have regained a little bit of form going into this. But yeah, Alisson, Trent. I mean, there's nothing too out of the ordinary here. I think Robertson didn't play midweek actually.
Tsimikas started.
Yeah, Tsimikas played left back, didn't he? Baditic, Fabinho, Hendo, Salah. I don't think Gakpo didn't start midweek. They started. Jota start? Yeah, Jota started. I mean, yes, it's a solid team, but United are really, really good right now. Pains me to say it, but they are playing some very, very good football. Yeah, they're away from home. Liverpool will fancy themselves to try and dominate the game, but I think with how United are playing right now, I can't not look at them and think, you're good for a win here. Like away to Liverpool, I can see it really, really happening. Rashford's in the form of his life. Bruno looks crazy good right now. Casemiro, Fred as a pivot is looking really, really successful, and the back four looks strong. Like I didn't think I'd see the return of Wan-Bissaka to Premier League football, to be honest, but he's sort of come back into the side after Dalot sort of in a couple of injuries and stuff, and he's looked immense. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it. How do you see it playing out, Quinny?
The only thing I like about that Man United defence is that Varane is like getting respect, because I remember when Varane first came to Man United, man, people were like, "Oh, Varane's past it. He's no good enough for the Prem, and he was only good at Real." And Varane is up there. Like, see, in like 5 years, 10 years, people will talk about Varane way higher than they do now. So, yeah, I do like that defensive side of things. And you say with Casemiro in front of him, he's obviously feeling at home to respect, and. It was going to be a great game to watch. I don't think I could call it either way, because Liverpool,
tough,
with that kind of, as everyone likes to call it, rock and roll football or whatever, like at home, they could just turn up in a game like this and smash 3 in 5 minutes. Yeah. And everyone's like, wow, how did that happen?
Mm-hmm. I think they've lost that. They can do it, don't get me wrong. I think that sort of freakish, like, scoring ability of like scoring multiple in like a couple of minutes is kind of just like disintegrated a little bit out of this team. I think they can sort of, it can come back. I don't know if that's going to come back against United. I think their game plan will be too sort of, I don't know. I just see it being very just strong, basically. I just don't really see them like giving Liverpool too many chances to just gain too much momentum in the game. But another one, like you said with Varane, Casemiro, when he first came, people were sort of saying that, like, I mean, I know he's coming off the bench, and he didn't look, honestly though, when I was watching him coming off the bench, he didn't look that good. He looked a bit ropey, but he sort of turned it around and showed us why he's won X amount of Champions Leagues and X amounts of whatever. He's an absolute Rolls Royce of a midfielder, and I'm really excited to see how this one sort of plays out.
Big time.
What we've got, honestly, I'm quite excited for a couple of the sort of the lower down the table sort of clashes. Forest Everton's a massive game.
Yeah, huge.
I've got to say, I mean, obviously Everton lost 4-0 midweek against Arsenal. I'm obviously having some of the troubles that you're having now, Quinny, with Play Sharper, which is just great. Let's see if this can reload. Nope, we are struggling apparently. But yeah, I guess not many people really care about the Forest.
The internet has got us today, Harry. The internet has got us today.
The internet really wants us today. Yeah. What about Brighton West Ham? We can get Brighton West Ham. Let's just do Brighton West Ham. Brighton have been great this season. West Ham had a great win last week against Forest, which came out of nowhere a little bit. But Brighton are heavy favourites at home, which they kind of should be, because we haven't seen enough of West Ham to really sort of say anything otherwise. But pretty settled 11, I would say. The only difference is this Facundo Buonanotte, whatever his name is. Well, Estupinan at left wing? That can't be right. This needs to be changed. Pascal Gross is not a left back. That needs to be changed.
He's like a mid, isn't he?
He's like a CDM 10. Yeah, so they'd probably be switched, I guess. But pretty settled 11. Ferguson's back, apparently. Interesting. 70%. Matoma in the 10. I think we'd see Gross in the 10, Matoma on the left, if I, kind of make a lot of sense. Sam Ty says, imagine there's plenty of traffic on the ATM.
Fair.
Yeah, but no, big game for Brighton, but equally a massive game for West Ham. They are struggling right now at 17th in the table. Paqueta's back, Argaard's back. Yeah, they've got a couple of the big guns back. Danny Ings has been scoring a couple of goals. Jared Bowen's been getting in on some of the assists. So, they have as good as what they can sort of put out. There's nothing really missing here too much for them to win this game. So no, I'm quite excited to see how this one sort of plays out, honestly.
Yeah, it should be goals galore because West Ham and Brighton love to score, love to go and attack, and none of them make any apologies for it. So yeah, that could be a great one. That'll be at 3 o'clock, so I don't think we'll be able to catch that until the night time. I've seen the Saturday 5:30 game there, Harry boy. Was let's do Chelsea. Chelsea Leeds looks good.
Yeah, let's do Chelsea. That was one I kind of forgot about actually in terms of like good fixture. Oh, of course.
No,
of course it doesn't allow me to show you Chelsea Leeds.
I was going to say the 5:30 game, Southampton Leicester. That's a big one on the table.
That sounds big. Yeah,
game.
It's a bit of a derby, isn't it? I'm sure. Maybe.
No, I don't think they're anywhere near each other, mate. No.
Okay, maybe not.
You should know that better than me.
I just mean they're just both rubbish.
The rubbish derby.
Nothing geographically. They're just rubbish. 4-4-2, pretty settled team for Southampton, I guess. But Sulemana Onachu's decent front two. Al Nuaisi, Armstrong, Ward-Prowse, Lavia. It's a good 6. I like it. I really do like it. There's a bit of everything there. You've obviously got a lot of quality with Ward-Prowse. On his set pieces, Armstrong's always good for a goal off that right mid, right wing. Maiden-Niles very solid at right back. I don't mind that. Bednarek back into the fold. Bella Kotchap's back. Interesting. Okay. And Parade at left back. There's some really good players here, Quinny. It really is.
Big Paul, man. I can't wait till he hits some form in the Prem.
It's just they need to just play to his strengths a little bit more, I guess, and sort of just play on what he's sort of good for. Basano's at 65%. That's interesting. But yeah, that's the Southampton team, and then Leicester 4-2-3-1. Danny Ward, Castan, Harry Souters look good. Wout Face, Christensen, Drewsbury Hall, Mendy, Tete, Madison, Barnes, Iheanacho. I really like that front four. It's a bit of everything there. Iheanacho can score goals. Madison can create them. Tete and Barnes can beat players, create things. I do really like that.
That's a good one.
What is the odds here? Yeah, the bookies can't really split them, to be fair. They've got Leicester at slight favourites, which is probably fair enough. I can see there being a lot of goals in this game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think that could be quite easily. Both of them need it so badly, for different reasons to an extent. Come on, yes, Chelsea.
No, it's showing us Leicester. It's showing us Leicester.
Oh no, was it? No.
Yeah. No. Chelsea.
Gutted.
Chelsea. No.
Let's have a look at Villa Palace, and then
let's have a look at the big one for you. Villa
Palace, and then Wolves Tottenham, and then we'll probably go away from the Prem from there, and we'll move into something else. Time.
Loading game data, of course it is.
Sam Ty reckons.
Yeah,
you've got it.
I was just going to say, yeah, Sam saying XI is much better than people think. They just need to stop shooting themselves in the foot every game. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Chelsea lineups load in.
Hey.
Even though I didn't click Chelsea.
Well, we can see it. Koulibaly, Arifa Balaga, Reece James, Benoit Badiashile. I can't tell who left back is, but it looks like Chilwell.
Chilwell, yeah.
Enzo, and then RLC, Ziyech, Felix, Sterling, and then is it Havertz up top?
Yeah, 75% Havertz. Mickey says, who are you predicting as a Chelsea centre-back duo this week? Got burned on Badiashile last week. Yeah, I got burnt as well. I am going to risk Badiashile though this week. I just think the fact that he can't play midweek against Dortmund, I don't know. I'm conflicted here because in one mind, I'm thinking well, they should just go with Fofana and Koulibaly because that's going to be the centre-back pairing for the midweek, right?
Yep.
But Badiashile hasn't really done anything wrong in the league, really. He got dropped last game. Game before that, they lost to somebody. But before that, then conceded a goal with him in the team. So, yeah. But the problem was Potter came out and said he didn't play Badiashile in that Tottenham game, I believe, because he wanted to keep a settled XI from what the centre back pairing was against Dortmund, if that makes sense. You know, Koulibaly and Thiago Silva, because Koulibaly obviously can't play in the Champions League. So I don't know. I'm really torn, but I'll be honest, I am risking him in an under 23 D2 lineup. So yeah, I think he's gonna play. I do. I really, really do.
He's one of those cards. If you've got him, you have to use him. But it's just appropriating where to use him, like how risk, how priority, you know.
And they have a great like Leeds at home's a good fixture.
Yeah, could be.
That's the issue. If it wasn't as good of a fixture, I'm gonna try this once more. I'm gonna open link in new tab. Yeah, that still doesn't work.
Try Wolves Tottenham next. That's a good one to have a look at. Second bottom.
Second bottom. Yeah. Play sharp.
No. So just hit refresh. I just did this on another one. Hit refresh on that screen. So I did that a second ago. What you've just and then it gave me the lineup for Borussia Dortmund. I tried to get set up for moving away from here. It's going so slow, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get it. Maybe not.
Come on, Spicer, sort it out.
So guys are joining us in the live chat. Let us know what, because like me and Harry said in one of the pre-streams, if you caught them earlier, but for the common draft this week, but the way the fixtures are going out, like I'm not as attached to as many of them as I was maybe a few weeks ago, because so many of my cards, and I think so many of the divisions, as we'll see with some of the fixtures, are quite evenly balanced. You know, there's not that many OP fixtures, etc. So if you are joining the live stream today, let us know what common division you're actually thinking you've got a great chance of. You've got a differential, maybe you've built some XP up, maybe you're going into 240 with a limited boost. Let us know in the live chat what ones are tickling your fancy.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to steal the screen off you, Harry.
No worries,
I've got in Germany, right? Probably the best looking game we've got is tonight, Harry. Friday night action. Borussia Dortmund at home to my boys, the Leipzig boys.
Leipzig boys.
The Borussia Dortmund predicted 11 looks to be Kobel in goals. They've still got Wolf in at right back with Sula, Schlotterbeck and Guerrero. Probably Guerrero, he's on 70%. Maybe Ryerson in at left back. Midfield pivot of Bellingham and Emery can or cannot. Julian Brandt in the number 10, who's on the form of his life at the moment since being drafted in AFC Barcelona. And then up front, probably Milan, according to this. Maybe Bino Gittins in support of Haller and Marco Reus back in town. Really formidable Dortmund team, Harry. XG on it, 1.8.
I like it. No, there's goals in this game. if any game in the Bundesliga screams goals, it's Leipzig Dortmund on a Friday night.
Big time. And the Dortmund, the Leipzig team looks pretty tasty as well. Now, what almost guarantees that there'll be goals in this game is the goalkeeper, Janis Blaswich. We then have a back four of probably Ben Henriks, maybe Mo Simikan, Willie Orban, Josko Guardiola, and probably Halstenberg, maybe David Rom. Midfield looks to be Schlager and Dudu Haidara. No Leimer, he's suspended. And then in support of the attack will be Nkunku Soboslai. The attack being Werner and Andre Silva. So it feels like proper Red Bull football will be showing up. Yeah. And goals at both ends. Dortmund always concede on the transition. Leipzig are built on transition, and Leipzig have got Janis Blast Sandwich in goals, or whatever we're going to call him, who's got sandwich hands, can't save anything. So it's going to be a good Friday night, Harry. Have you got any cards in this game?
Do I have any cards in this game? Good question. No, I don't. I might have some commons in my draft, but no, I don't have any. No, I don't have any cards. It's nice to see Nkunku at 80%, to be fair. That'll be a nice little sort of comeback for Leipzig there. Him and Schloboslai will be raring to go, I think, against this sort of Dortmund sort of back six, back four, to try and create those goals for Werner and Silva. I think it'll be a big game tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a nice wee opportunity as well. Haidara, I've got it super rare. It's not something I'd recommend anyone goes and picks up just yet. But if Leipzig do play as well as I think they can in this game, and he's a big part of it, with Leimer being confirmed to go to Bayern Munich in the summer, maybe that's a starting midfield position that changes for the better. L15 at the moment of 37, even with a good game today, that won't change too much too quick. So maybe want to watch out for the draft, or maybe for a wee cheeky limited at some point, box-to-box midfielder.
100%. 100%. What's the? I'm just catching up with the chat a little bit here. Not sure if you've mentioned it, but what are your thoughts on the gas comps this week, with a lot of big teams having favourable fixtures?
So the global all-star competitions this week, I prioritised all my teams on where the money pots were really this week. But all-star rare at the moment, we've got just under 7,500 entrants, Harry. 630 cards paid out, which is a decent prize pool for the weekend. We've got 15 stars, 30 tier ones is it's a rubbish tier one pool, I think. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, it changes with money. Never mind. Sorry, I always miss that. But so we get tier ones up to 80. That's decent, yeah. And then tier twos go back to 330. So we get about 200 tier twos paid out. And then we get basically 300 tier threes paid out at the back end. So I think, the matches, I don't think Europe has the strength of the matches, champion Europe. We're only through England and Germany, but even when we go through to whatever detail we do it in, just for the time of day we're at, Italy, Spain, and France, there's not that many great games out there this week. And I think it will be the rural territories, like Russia, maybe even Holland and Belgium. I've not even looked at these games yet. Turkey, perhaps. I think these are the teams that will dominate the leaderboards this week rather than PSG. Maybe Bayern, because Bayern have got their away at Stuttgart, so that could be a good game for Bayern. But
yeah, I'm just looking at the matchups now. Your arch nemesis Rangers are at the top.
Oh, really? Yeah. I'll give you the screen if you've got the matchups on data.
Yeah, I get. It doesn't let me. Let me share screen. Here we go. Can you see now?
2 seconds. I need to select it. I would. There we go. Got it. I got rid of you once or twice there. Sorry, everyone. Steiwald will come in the summer, remember, says Hendo, in terms of that midfield Leipzig situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, for next season, that's definitely a fight that will be had. But
Leimer will be gone, won't he?
Leimer will be gone.
But yeah, in terms of matchups this week, I mean, obviously Rangers at the top doesn't really matter too much to, well, one, Quinny, and two, everyone, because their cards aren't really that playable.
Clip that.
That is a clip if I've ever heard one. No, but yeah, in terms of big games this week, Feyenoord at home to Groningen is probably it is the second best matchup apparently on Sorare this week. I think they beat them 3-0 so 3-0 away. So when Feyenoord were away to Groningen, they beat them 3-0 away earlier on in the season. I can't really see anything other than a repeat of that, and maybe worse. Benfica at home to Famalicão. I watch a lot of Famalicão because I have a unique card that plays there, and they play tonight actually. Benfica Famalicão. Benfica do have a midweek game, in the Champions League. So against Club Brugge. So maybe look out for that. There might be, a few sort of suspect changes there. Maybe a few, maybe not even rotations, but maybe just off at half time. I've had that before with Florentino, where they just rest. Obviously, we've mentioned the Arsenal game. Ajax at home to NEC, which is a good fixture, but Ajax are just still not Ajax really. Yeah, they're still conceding goals. They're scoring goals. They're still winning games here and there, but they're not pumping teams 6-0. It's just not happened this season. But it's still a great fixture.
NEC had some form this year as well.
What'd you say? NEC have been decent. Yeah, they've been good. They've been decent, mate. They've been picking up results. I've got a super riff that plays from Magnus Madsen, so I sort of follow their fixtures quite a lot. And yeah, I mean, I won't be playing him this week, but they have been decent.
Right.
So they have been all right. They're no mugs at all, and neither are Groningen, to be honest.
Killison and goals.
Yeah, they've honestly, I think last week a couple of their defenders, one of the is it Sander? Yeah,
Sander got 100.
Sander got 100. He used to play for Man City, I'm pretty sure, maybe.
Yep, he did.
Yeah, they've just been scoring really well in certain game weeks. But I can't see that happening against Ajax, if I'm being completely honest. I still think it's a smashing sort of game week. You got USG at home to UPenn. Again, great fixture. USG did play last night though in the cup, and they lost, I believe, to Antwerp. So yeah, I don't know what make of that what you will, but it is a good fixture. Obviously, we got your boys away to St. Mirren, who have been dire this year, I believe.
No, St Mirren have been good. I was actually saying that to Tony on the podcast earlier, that I think St Mirren are the best team Celtic have played in the league outside of Rangers and Hearts. Like,
I'm mixing them up with is it Ross County?
Yeah,
Maybe
probably.
yeah, it is Ross County.
St Mirren are decent. They're not in great form there, I don't think.
Okay.
But I've told Tony the only decisive he's allowed to get is a last man tackle.
We've got PSG at home to Nantes, who aren't no mugs by any means. No. You know, PSG at home. I've seen them in the flesh. They are very good, but they do leak goals. That's one thing I've noticed in this PSG team over this season is that they aren't really good for a clean sheet. They're good for goals. You know, if you've got Messi and Mbappe, obviously Neymar looks to be injured right now. I think he might be back actually for that.
I've just put the PSG Predicted XI on screen, Harry, just to try and be swish about this. That's quite cool, eh?
Yeah.
Pop that on. So it looks like Ramos, Marquinhos, Danilo in defence, Mbappe, Messi up front. Listen to the midfield: Mukiele, Bernat, Soler, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz. So decent team from them, eh?
Decent, yeah, but Nantes are no mugs.
No, definitely not.
I think they'll concede a couple, so R.I.P. Lafont. But I do see him nicking a goal or so. Somebody just said Reece James is injured again, apparently. Not that that's anything to do with PSG, but yeah. Thank you for the info. And then Porto, I think they play Chavez away. I think they're 14th in the league, which Porto conceded last week. I believe they lost. I think 2-1. 2 men sent off, so a bit of a nightmare weekend. And they don't have midweek this week. Sorry, they have midweek next week in the Champions League. But yeah, good enough fixture, I would say, on paper. We're not going to say much about the Peruvian league, if I'm being honest. Inter at home to Lecce, good fixture.
That's a huge game. Yeah,
it's a big game. Big game. If you want to get predictions up for that, Quinny, or
got it.
Just be interested to see who Inter have got.
Onana in goals. Darmian, Acerbi, Bastoni in defence. Gossens and Dumfries on the wing backs. Midfield 3 of Hakan Calhanoglu, Brozovic, Barella, and then Rom and Lautaro up front for Inter Milan. Predicted 11 away to Lecce. Lecce, Umtiti, the legend that he is. He'll be playing. I don't know anyone else in their team. Strafeza has been on the road to glory. He's a Brazilian forward. And I've seen him play like an hour of football recently, and he actually looks like a decent player. Mm-hmm. So maybe he gets a transfer in the off-season up the food chain, as it were. But not much to say about Lecce. They're probably going to get hammered. I
do really worry about the Challenger region this week, Quinny, in terms of... Yeah, I'm just seeing, like, if, we go back up to the top, obviously, excluding Rangers, we got Feyenoord, Benfica, Ajax, USG, Celtic, Porto, and Sporting in, like, the top 10, basically.
Now, Bass, who's in the live chat, keeps talking about Cercle Bruges Serang. It's been one of the
That is on there. Yeah, I can't lie. It is just below the Sporting fixture. Yeah, so Cercle Bruges at home to Serang. I mean, yeah, it is a good fixture. Don't get me wrong.
I think Cercle Bruges have got some good players, don't they?
They do, but are we going to see multiple? Are we going to see a couple of hundreds? Probably.
Oh, mate, they've got Ueda. Ayase Ueda up front, mate.
They do have Ueda.
Ueda season.
Ueda season with 3 games to go. Now joking. He's dead. Yeah, before the split. Now he's been decent this season. He has scored a couple goals. I will give him that. Mickey says, Harry, watch out for Humand. Such a great under 23 player. Humeland. Don't know who that is. Sorry, Mickey. Who does he play for? Yeah, sorry, Quinny, to interrupt you.
No, you didn't interrupt me at all, mate. Somebody's asking for the Zenit team, so I think we'll throw the Zenit team up so we know what DNPs we're cheering for, in terms of what ones are maybe expected or unexpected.
100%.
So let's see. What DNPs do we want for Zenit? We've got Kerzhakov in goals, Karavev, right back, Douglas Santos left back, Kristiakov and Rodrigal in centre back, centre mid Barrios, Kuziev and Wendell, and then up front Malcolm Casiera, who's a new name on me, but he looks to have a card from Brazil or something, and Mostovoy. There's a few. Most of them are pretty nailed. There's only a few choices here, so I think we're praying for Wendell, Douglas Santos, and Malcolm last minute call off somehow. If that could happen, that'd be great.
That would be great. I'm just looking here. A couple more sort of. We don't have to go into their lineups, but Trabzonspor at home. We've got PSV away, but decent fixture, I would say. And then we sort of ventured down more into like the Champion Europe region. Obviously, Man City here, Monaco, Lyon have a good fixture actually at home to Lorient. I'm going to be prioritizing my Cherokee this week. I really think they're good for a couple of goals this game against Lorient. Sociedad at home to Cadiz. It seems like the majority of
one for me.
It is a big one. We'll obviously go to that, but I just think just to sort of. Before we go there, I just think Challenger seems to have like the upper echelon of like great fixtures, and then like sort of the tier, and we'll call them star rare fixtures, and then the tier 1 fixtures seem to be sort of in and around the Champion Europe region, with PSG being the exception, I would say, and maybe Bayern. They're probably star rare fixtures, really, if we're sort of being brutally honest. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that sort of works out. But then Dynamo at home, 20 at home down by here, Besiktas, Antwerp.
Leverkusen's a great game and all at home Hertha.
Yeah, that's goals. That has to be goals. Yeah, man, there's some interesting fixtures, and then there's a couple of MLS fixtures creeping in, which we
MLS always gets in amongst it somehow, even the ones you don't predict. Some of them 100%. Are going to pop off, man.
100%.
The whole defense gets 100 somehow, and
yeah, and I can see that happening with this LAFC game against Portland, because Portland look dire right now.
Yeah.
I know LAFC haven't actually started it. They haven't even played a game yet because of the downpour last week in LA, so that they haven't played yet. But I still think they'll be very good. If you want to see this, were you going to go over to the Sociedad fixture or?
No, I was going to pull up a predicted 11 for. It was another game you said in France. Oh, it was Lyon. I was going to go Lyon up.
Sorry, yeah,
because Lyon was a good one, and we all love a bit of Lyon and Sorare and on this channel, Cherokee in particular, of course. But there's plenty of heroes in that Lyon team. So that's what I was going to throw up as Lyon. I've got the team here: Lopez, Kumbede, Lovren, Lukeba, Diamande, Tagliafico in the back 5, Lipinon and Kakere in the double pivot, Barcola, Amin Sarr and Ryan Cherokee in attack. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Lorient have been decent this year. Enzo Lafise, super rare, went on this morning. I don't know where to finish that, but it looked like a wee bit of a decent auction to follow. Manone in goals, Bamba Dieng, Ibrahima Kone. There's some good players in this team. Definitely not to be taken lightly. Lorient in 7th position, but away to Lyon is not one of the games they collect points in. They've been doing well against the league generally.
Yeah. Why does Sorare data not show Russian league fixtures then, do they? If that makes sense. Like they don't come up on. No, they don't.
It's probably because it's not on gambling sites, probably.
Of course. Okay.
If it's not on gambling sites, that's my assumption.
Yeah.
Here.
No, that makes sense. So yeah, and who are Zenit playing? Sorry, Quinny.
Zenit. Do we have it on Play Sharper? We must. Where is Russia? Oh no, we've already had it up, haven't we? I can't remember. Yeah. It's a rubbish team. They're at home.
Okay, yeah. So they probably in the upper edge. They'd be in the star rare sort of fixture as well. So yeah, I really think. Yeah, and obviously, I mean, Josh is in the comments. He'll probably be able to comment on this better. But yeah, it's just all about. This week is basically where the Zenit card's being played. I mean, they're going to be played everywhere ultimately. Challenger and Gas as well. But I just think with those bonuses that they have, like I have Daniel Ukin that doesn't play for Zenit, but he plays in the Russian league. He has like nearly 12% bonus. Yep. Just because there's no cards minted, so it's a bit of a cheat code, especially with the Zenit boys, obviously. So that is an interesting sort of dynamic this week. Is basically, can you dodge the Zenit cards? And if you can, then do you have an Ajax? Do you have an Ajax contingency? Do you have, who else have we got up here? A Feyenoord boy? Do you have a Benfica boy? Like you're gonna need those cards to make up for the fact that Zenit have 12% bonuses and have a smashing fixture, and that might not be enough anyway. Which is it's quite depressing in that sense. If we're being honest, if you don't have Zenit cards, obviously. I know Josh is just laughing behind his screen right now. He's just giving it one of these.
I was going to say there, Harry, we're almost an hour away to the deadline. We've got over 160 legends, Sorare scouts from managers from around the world enjoying the stream today, but we're under the 60 like mark. Guys, we have to break through 100 likes.
Yeah, what's going on?
We have to, guys. Come on.
I've even liked it. I'm watching the stream and I've liked it, so there's no excuse for anyone else not to.
One of the fixtures we also highlighted, Harry, just to throw this out before we move away from it entirely.
Go on.
It's a great fixture, and someone's asked again to talk about the lineup for it in terms of the left back. Is Leverkusen at home to Hertha? Leverkusen's been known love to score goals. We all love the Leverkusen team. Lots of heroes in this team, like Moussa Diaby, Schick. I'm not too big fans of these guys, but Wirtz in particular. Mitchell Bakker looks to be in at left back. Frimpong at right back. Back three, Tapsoba, Tat, and Hinchape. And in the midfield, just looks to be Andrić and Palacios carrying the water across the pitch. But this could be a great XG is probably, I thought it'd be a bit higher. It's only at 2.6. But this is the first week. This is, for me, Harry, the first week where Wirtz has been back playing and he's not had a midweek fixture to contend with Europe or the Cup or whatever. So this could be a great Wirtz week.
100%. Yeah, there's no. I'm sort of scared for that myself, being a non-Wirtz holder at this given moment. But yeah, great fixture at home to Hertha. This team's been really, really good recently. And what surprised me is actually their defense has been scoring pretty well. Like I used to, I've had a Tapsoba in the past. I've had a Hincapié in the past. I've had a Mitchell Baker in the past. I've had a few. I've had Kosunu in the past, and none of them have really scored that well. Tapsoba being the exception, he's always scored pretty well. But Hincapié would never score that well. And like they are now, so they're becoming a lot more playable. Palacios has been insane. The guy just absolutely just churns AA for fun, and is always good for a goal or an assist. And then obviously, like you said, Diaby, Wirtz. There's some big players in this, big under 23 sort of players to have big says this weekend. I think in this Leverkusen team.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody's gave the shout as well that there is midweek coming up. I think Wirtz starts this, doesn't get 90. He's not going to play 90 for a while yet, I think, with the fixture list the way it is. But getting him started is a huge part of getting him over 80 points.
Definitely, 100%.
And I'm also getting shouts for Celtic Predicted XIs, right? So
Yeah,
I'll pull up this on here. And I think what's up here already is it's the safest bet. And the problem with Celtic is it is always opinions on the team until it comes out. Now, they kind of, I was saying this on the Celtics Are Here podcast I did earlier in the week, but like I think we're going to see like a new chapter of the season open for Celtic now after the cup final, and this is the chapter where it's between now and the split. So it's about getting to the Scottish Cup final, and it's about sewing the league up, winning every match we can before the split itself. So does the manager set out with the strongest team again to just charge on and make that happen, or does he then start to maybe get some of these other guys in? So Russ, who does the lineups, I think he's definitely on the same wavelength as me. The Alistair Johnson's at 55%, with Ralston at 45%. I think there's a few positions this week, Moyne O'Reilly being another one, and maybe Abada comes in here somehow, but I don't know who for. But there's a few players along. I would maybe throw into this as well. Kobayashi is a real 20% shot or something, 10% shot. But I think that there is jeopardy on the manager maybe starting some different people. So if you have some low priority lineups with these guys that you're happy to be on the bench anyway, and it's like, oh, if they start, then maybe they could do something. That's the way I would approach it. I think for the most part, the left side of the team is probably quite nailed. I don't see him rotating or dropping any of these guys, to be quite honest. I think this is probably going to be the team we see line up in total.
Yeah, makes sense.
For me.
Yeah.
And we've got Tony in midfield this week as well. He looks to be playing with a back five, and then a midfield three protecting Mark O'Hara and supporting the striker. So I don't know if Tony will be playing in centre mid necessarily. Maybe it's a bit of a glitch on placement on this, but so it's funny to see him there, and I found it quite funny to tell him that's what he'll be playing this week. And
that is funny, really funny. Yeah, okay. Well, what do you want to get your teeth stuck into next, Quinny? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, we're kind of all over the place now in terms of teams and stuff like that. We've got an hour to the deadline, Harry. I want to see some of your teams, buddy, and see how you've got on with building. And then I think we can maybe just knock into prize pools from there. And, I've got some teams we can do and have a look at as well. And I think for the preceding hour, that's probably how we'll knock around. Anyone in the live chat, if there is predicted 11s or games you want us to look at or talk about, just with the technical difficulties we had earlier today, we'll take our cues from the live chat for the remainder. If there's a lineup you want to see or anything like that, just when I get Harry's screen back up and running with us.
You should have my Sorare screen ready to go. Yeah, is that right?
Yep, all good.
I'm actually going through a bit of a dilemma right now, currently, on what to play. So I've got tonight, like I mentioned, Benfica are playing for Millicao, and I have a Florentino Luis Super Rare, and I also have a Zaidu Yusuf Unique, and they'll basically be battling against each other in the midfield tonight, basically. So I'm tempted. I wanted to play Zaidu because he played against Porto a couple of weeks ago and scored really well AA-wise, even though they lost the game quite heavily, I believe. He still did really well, and like that part of me thinks, do I just trust him and just kind of go with him? But then the conservative side of my brain is going, no, don't be silly, Harry. You have an Alan Varela. He's at home I think it's on Tuesday, man. I hate waiting for my players to play that long, but he's at home on Tuesday. like, am I just being stupid, guys? Do I just go with Varela? Varela has a great bonus as it is. I think he's on like 31.5%. 31. Obviously, the Zaydu would be on 46.5. This is my dilemma right now, lads. Any sort of help would be greatly appreciated. Like, there is other players that could sort of fall into that extra position, but that kind of makes the most sense for me right now. Let's see what the chat says, Quinny.
What's wrong with your other unique? Is he not playing?
So his team is playing, but for some reason he wasn't in the squad last week. I DM'd him on Twitter, on Instagram, and he replied to me in Spanish.
Nice.
Yeah, which is great. And
you
he
say,
was like,
"Hey, mate, I've got you unique. What the fuck are you doing?"
I said that. See if I'll show you now. Let me get. I basically said I bought like your card on this game, and then he was like, great. And then I said, are you playing on the weekend? And then he was like, I don't know if I can show you, but see if the chat can see it.
I think I should message Edward. That's quality.
Yeah, so he replied and stuff, to be fair. But yeah, he basically said, I've been summoned, but I don't know if I'm playing. And he wasn't even in the squad, which is interesting. So he basically lied to me, which was nice of him. And yeah, so that's kind of why he can't play right now.
I would play him over Zaydu, but I wouldn't even play a unique with the situation you've got if you're worried about him. So I think Zaydu, if Benfica score 4, I know it's a midfielder, so it's not quite as bad, right? But
it is still bad, isn't it? Yeah.
It's still bad. It doesn't matter. He's getting 46% bonus on a 20-point score. True.
True. I have Cuesta, who's only being used in my Cap 240 right now, which could easily be used. He's away though to St. Trinudes or St. Trinudes or whatever they're called. So he's an option. Tangai's being used in All-Star, which could be an option, but away to Atletico, I don't love it. Nico's at home to Everton, which I actually don't mind as a fixture, to be honest. Even though he should play, Aurier's injured. So there's no reason why he shouldn't play. And then that's kind of it in terms of my extra options. Which is basically Cuesta, Varela, Zaydu, and that's basically it. Because I'm using Frankie Amaya and Yari Visharan in my Rare Pro.
Tough one, man. Because I like your Luis. He'll have a great game, and your striker will have a great game, man. And it's just, if you get the goalkeeper and the defender on the pitch, then that team can cook.
I know.
It's just that last piece.
I know. That's my worry. Do you think it might have to just be a Varela job, mightn't it?
What's wrong with Slattery?
Nothing wrong with him. He didn't start the last 2 games, Quinny, and got 2 to. He scored an absolute worldie of a free kick against Kilmarnock in the 90th minute last week off the bench. Game before that, came off the bench and got a last man tackle, but hasn't started the last couple. I know they got a new manager now, I believe. Their
new manager is the former Ross County manager. For what that's worth.
Interesting. Okay, and then the new, what is it? The old Aberdeen manager is now the new Dundee United manager, and they're playing each other this weekend as well, right?
True. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I do love Slattery, but I've played him in my cap mode for now. Yeah. What are we dealing with here? Are we saying Varela, or do you really think, or do you think Zaydu's an option?
Varela's nailed to play, isn't he?
Varela, yeah, they played a cup match in midweek. They don't play till Tuesday. Yeah, he's nailed to play. He's definitely playing.
Let's see Argentina. We'll open up the Boca.
He's 90%, I believe.
So Boca Juniors predicted 11: Sergio Romero, Advincula, Figal, Valdez, Frank Fabra, Alan Varela, Guillermo Fernandez, Oscar Romero, Langone, Benedetto, Sebastian Villa. Yeah, strong team. Defensia. Yeah, XG under 1. Chance of a clean sheet really high.
Problem is Varela hasn't been scoring very well. Very, very sort of 50s, nothing above that, which just scares me a little bit, because if I have Zaydu and he scores at like 10 AA, that's better than Zaydu scoring like 15. That's better than Varela scoring like a 15 AA because of the 16% extra. You know what I'm saying?
But when he does score good AA, where does he get it from? Does he get it from defensive actions?
Basically, yeah. And that's kind of Zaydu's game as well. But obviously the downside is, Benfica could score a couple and ruin that a bit, but not too much. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Am I just being stupid? And because Zaydu seems to be fixture proof right now. He did it against Porto. He's been doing it in every other game, albeit they're not playing Benfica. And Benfica have been a little bit shaky recently. They haven't been they've been good, but I don't know. I'm torn. I'm really torn, Quinny.
I'm looking for the last time they played this team at home. He got a 57.
Varela did.
And a 2-0 win at home. He won 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, 7 duels won and lost, but there was 14 duels, so he broke even.
Yeah.
And then an attack, no attacking presence whatsoever. So he was just
never.
snuffing out. He's probably just snuffing out counter attacks. They're probably camped in.
Yeah.
Boca dominating possession, and he's just nipping across the pitch. And
that's exactly it, mate. That's exactly
that could work,
the
man.
role he plays. It could work. Charlie Dunbar said it would be Zaidu for him. James says, would Balde not start for Barca? You've got him in a training team. Balde started and played 90 minutes last night against Real Madrid in the El Clasico, which basically and he played amazing. He played really, really well. And yeah, I see Alba coming in to replace him on the weekend against Valencia. I'd love to play Balde, but I don't think he'll start, if I'm being honest. Ian says he's expecting Slattery to start. Yeah, I'm expecting him to start. That's why I've got him in my cap mode. Yeah.
Let's see. Last time he was away. I want to see the last time he was away to Benfica if he played. Away to Porto, he got a 44.
Yeah, but that was off the bench. Yeah, I know. He's back in the side now. So I don't know. I just see him go because he wants to move.
Away to Brugge, 44. I think he's probably good for a 44, man. Because that was in they're in 4-1 losses.
I know. That's what I'm
saying. Not getting 90 minutes and a booking. You know, like he'll get 44 odd. I reckon. So what's that? 44. What's your multiplier? 49%.
47% basically. 46%.
Right. So let's just do the raw maths on it. Let's say 45. He's going to get times 1. What was the percent again, Harry?
46.5.
Right. Okay. Cool. So he'll come in with, so let's say 66 points, right?
Yeah.
What's Varela's multiplier?
31.
So 1.31 divided by. No, that's probably the wrong way of doing it.
Just do 45 times
66 divided by 131. So for Varela to match Zaidu doing 45, Varela needs to do 50.
Which I think he probably does.
That's for him to match Zaidu. It's a 50 for Varela or a 45 for Zaidu.
Well, he's been averaging 49, 47, 50, 47 the last 4 games, Varela. But I just think Zaidu has a little bit more upside in a weird way. I really do. In a weird way.
I don't know. If you look at the amount of times, especially at home, so see Varela, we're talking about he needs to do 50 to beat Zaidu. He does,
which is what he does, really.
But he can do 63s and 70s.
He can. He hasn't done it this season, which worries me, and Zaidu has.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with you on that. He definitely has done it. Chandy says, I'd never bet against Benfica at home. Yellow cards, penalties given away could hurt Zaidu, while Varela is a safer option. Yeah, but safer doesn't win you things in this world.
But this card kind of will, but because it's the rest of your team that are boss.
Yeah,
you know,
but then I guess Baddies are, I mean, we could argue Baddies are a question as well in terms of, yeah.
It's tough, man. It feels like your heart's pulling you to the unique, mate. It feels like your heart's pulling you at it.
It is, but then I know I'll watch the game tonight. Both my players would have played and this team is just dead. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I would go with Varela.
Yeah.
That 31% is juicy as well.
It is pretty juicy. But then, yeah, it is. But then I'm a captain down at that point. That's my issue, which I don't like.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's
but Tanny's probably... Tanny, you know, like he's probably going to come in with like 49 or something. Probably not going to keep a clean sheet, but he'll probably
no, probably not. Yeah.
And as far as the 23 goalkeepers go this week, like that's probably going to be amongst the best of them. And in your midfield and forward, there is going to be score probably quite well. Because again, we're talking about Benfica stuffing them 4-0. What's Luis going to get on 80, and then he gets one decisive? You're at 80, 90.
Yeah. That's the reason why I don't captain Luis, is because he just doesn't get decisive. James says Zaidu scored 57 last time out against Benfica when losing 1-0.
That'd have been maybe them at home or something, I guess.
That was them at home, yeah. Yeah, 45 doesn't win you anything off. Well, I could argue it does if
this last piece is a facilitator. It's the rest of your team that works. We're not looking for...
That's the thing, yeah.
We're not looking for a guy to make the team. We've got a team here, and it's a guy that's not going to fuck you.
Yeah. Hey Mai says Cuesta has easy matchup. I wouldn't say
Cuesta is another shout.
Yeah. It is, yeah. Cuesta is another shout.
By the way, guys, we're not even at 90 likes yet. It's over 170 Sorare scouts and managers from around the world tuning in, Harry. We've got 50 minutes to the deadline, and we're at 81 likes. Guys, come on. Help us out. Get it to 100 likes. Let's get it done.
You know what? I am tempted to go for Cuesta.
Is Quest on to start? Let's get the... I'm sure he is, but let's just
Yeah,
look at
it
Genk.
should be. He should be. I am tempted to go with Questa, if I'm being honest.
So let's see. Yeah, so it looks like the starting 11 for Genk is going to be Van de Voort, Munoz, McKenzie, Cuesta, Arteaga. In defence, midfield of Elkanus, Hanen and Horowski. Front three of Mikey T, Mr. T, Samata and Joseph Pansel. So really strong Gent team away from home.
Yeah, it is a strong team.
36% chance of a clean sheet, which in Belgium away from home is pretty solid.
It's pretty solid, isn't it? Weezermont said Quest had an easier matchup last weekend. How did that work? Yeah, Weezermont, I kind of agree with you with that. Sam says it's the third stream he's liked now.
Hey, thanks, Sam. Hero.
Charlie says Varela will probably max out at 55. That is the only issue. Yeah, that is what my issue as well. You know what? We're going to go with Questa for now. You can leave my screen. We can sort of We can leave my my lineups to be for now. I think we
did get a great question from the chat, Harry, and it was should you prioritise All-Star over 270? Now, I kind of dealt with this a little bit. I'll get your thoughts on it in a second, right? But I dealt with this in the member stream during the week when we were building the Road to Glory team. And we built the Road to Glory team to go into 270. So they kind of answer over whether you should prioritise, because 270 pays out better cards. I think we can see that from the prize pools last week, right? But there's more money available in All-Star. Different rules across both the divisions. XP's in both, captains are in both, whatever. But if your team, like this team that I've got for the Road to Glory is going out in 270, if your team is kind of this calibre, then 270 is where you should be going for it. If it's at the top end of the cap, you've got decisive, capable across the place, good AA and whatever. Yeah. But I think All-Star is where you're going if you've got XP over 10%, power stack, power fixture. Because All-Star at limited level in particular is a bloodbath, you know, at the top end of it, you know, like it's the finest of margins determined 40 places, you know,
100%.
All across the board, across all the positions, you know, it's so tight. So if you've got a team full of like good guys, they're not superhero, top of the food chain, then you probably want to fight in the cap division. But if you have high XP in your favour, high fixtures, or I say top of the food chain guys, I'd go after All-Star because the prize pool is just a better payout if you hit big.
Yeah, I'd probably just sort of emulate what you just said there. I just think depending on how close you are to that 270 cap, you know, if you're on it, if you're 1 point away, you know, like 1 point under, 2 points under, maybe even probably 5 points under as a max. I think that's where you probably play it in 270 because you're just maxing out your, you know, capabilities of L15 averages. Like you don't want to be spending or underspending too much in 270, if that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Because otherwise you're just at a disadvantage, you know, compared to other players who are much closer to that, you know, completing the 270 cap. I don't think you have to be on the dot, but I do think you need to be in and around it. I don't know. Yeah, that would be my sort of guess on things.
Of course. Now, Harry, we've been alerted by the chat, and I've got it on screen now. Sorare have just reviewed the new reward tiers update.
Interesting. Okay.
So I've got it on screen. There's 175 Sorare scouts and managers from around the world ready to go through that with us, Harry. But we're still not at 100 likes. We're at 94. We've got to... I would imagine with 170 people here, 150 of you actually like me and Harry. Maybe the other ones here are undecided yet. Maybe will come to love us throughout the rest of the stream today. But I'd like to think a solid 150 of you here have been here multiple times and you've really enjoyed this stuff. So please, let's get past 100 and then we can talk about 150. But Harry boy, I'll let you open up the announcements. You can see it on your own screen and we'll scroll through it together for all the people at home and we'll have a wee look through it and we'll get our honest reaction to it and our live thoughts, okay?
Yeah.
So we've been waiting for this for ages because the problem, before we get into it, the problem is people want to win a reward and understand the quality of it and have a degree of predictability on how valuable that'll be in the game, maybe have some sort of market value attached to it, whatever. So let's see what they're going to do to try and combat that, whether it's more tiers or whatever. So here we go. Over the last few seasons, Sorare has welcomed football leagues and clubs from around the world and delivered a unique global fantasy football experience. Now that we've launched the Premier League, we have a better idea of the wide pool of players available on Sorare. As a result, we revisited the reward tiers and are restructuring and expanding for clarity and consistency. New tiers outlined below go into effect game week 352. That's this coming midweek, okay?
Yeah.
Current reward tiers. Tier 0... It's nice to see these percentages finally, but this was before just all rumour and hearsay. But here we go. in terms of what they used to represent. Right, so current reward tiers, blah de blah, whatever, right? Updates and new reward tiers. We are introducing 2 new tiers at the top end and bottom end of the pool to bring more consistency within and across reward tiers. These tiers will restructure our existing pools. We are not introducing new player cards to the pool. It's just a further classification and further definition on what caliber of card we are getting issued out, basically. So what's changing? The former Tier 0 will now split across Tier 1 and Star pools. Cool. So we're getting Star back as a designated thing rather than Tier 0. Okay. Let's see. Players from the former Tier 3 pool will now be split across the new Tier 4 and 5 pool. The players in the old Tier 1 are now Tier 2. And the old Tier 2 is now Tier 3. So what they've done is I've taken Tier 3 and split it into 2 parts. Tier 4, which is the good Tier 3s, and Tier 5, which is the bad Tier 3s. They've then taken the stars, and when these are the proper stars, put them to one side, and then these are now Tier 1s, and then they've moved Tier 1 and Tier 2 down a peg. Seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, I can't see any downside in that.
As long as we get more, that Tier 5 now, as long as we get more stuff come into that, a lot more of these injury DNP stuff at that bottom end, it could be a huge chunky pool now. So the new reward tiers and distribution, Star represents the top 2% of the prize pool. So Star rewards are now properly creme de la creme level, undoubtedly. Yeah. Tier 1 representing just under 5%. Tier 2, the next 13 or so percent. Tier 3, and Tier 4 and 5 thereafter around 26 or so percent across the board. Please note the new reward structure launches game week 352, the midweek we're coming up to. We're confident the restructure will better balance reward distributions. We will continuously monitor the reward process and update the pools accordingly. As always, we welcome your feedback. And then card swap rules update. There's more here as well where we look into that. We have updated the rules for swapping cards, more clear and less room for interpretation. Bloody blah. It's probably in line with this now. They're probably much more confident that this will fix the problem of swaps in the first place, and it's more of a cure rather than a band-aid situation, which is nice, Harry. What's your opening thoughts, Harry? A lot of talking from me. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue people had really, wasn't it, was the fact that DMPs weren't in there. I'm sure that was like one of the main sort of issues. Again, there was issues with, I guess, like, you know, goalkeepers being dropped and then still being in like a star rail or a Tier 1 and then being disappointed. Like that was a big thing. But I also think the DMP thing was probably the bigger issue, in the sense like we can split DMPs into like tiers if you just sort of allow them to be in there. I like the fact that star rares are like really hard to get now, even though they've always been pretty hard to get. But it just makes that extra sweet if you do sort of hit them.
What do we think, Harry? In the new world, right?
Go on.
We currently have 15 star rares paid out in All-Star. In the new world, what do we think that turns into? A top 10, top 5 or podium?
Yeah, what was the... Oh, you mean like in positions paid out, if that makes sense,
actual
rather than
stars,
players?
Yeah.
I mean,
15 spots in now, what do you think?
Podium, is that it? Top 5, is that an All-Star? Is that an All-Star, do you say, sorry?
All-Star rare.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, 5 to 7, is it, probably, roughly?
5 to 7, you reckon it would go down to?
Yeah, roughly.
I'd love to hear everyone in the chat what they think.
Maybe 5, yeah.
So I'll give this to everyone in the chat again, so I want to hear all your thoughts on it. Well, we may even do a wee poll. I quite like doing polls, by the way. I think they're good fun.
Let's do it.
Right, so let me see what button did I do again? Oh, yes, this button here. Start a poll, right? So in game week 353, right?
Yeah.
Game week 353. How many? I can only do 4 options, right? So we're at 15 now. So let's say, how many star rares do you think will be in the prize pool, okay? We'll make one option top 10. We've also got 15. Will we keep it the same? It's 15. Will they keep it the same? Let's make that an option, right? Let's give them the chance
why not?
to keep it the same. 15, 10, 5 and podium. Let's see. They're the 4 options we'll have. What do you think? Game next weekend, an all-star rare, what will be the star reward payout? We've got a little poll. It should be out now in the live chat. we'll let it run for about 10 minutes or so. There's over 180 Sorare scouts and managers from around the world tuning in, Harry. Over 100 of them have liked the stream, buzzing about that. But like I did say, I'm pretty sure there's at least 150 regular pals of the channel here that are always here. And I'm sure they can take their phone out of their pocket for a wee second and get that good feeling they get from dropping a wee like on the stream and helping the show out. But yeah, I'd really be interested to... That's because the first thing, when I read that, it's great, right? Stars are stars and all the rest of it. But the first thing I'm worried about for my personal gallery, and I would give that to everyone out there as well, is I've been mad excited about All-Star Super Rare paying out 2-star Super Rares. And I'm immediately thinking, next week it's not going to be 2-star Super Rares. I'm now worried, will it even be 1? You know, I would hope to think it's still 1, but it's not going to be 2. I can almost guarantee it's not going to be 2 next week. And obviously, Super Rares, that's problems for other people. Let's talk about rares and limiteds or something. Rares is a good one because All-Star Rares, the kind of core division or whatnot. But I'd be really interested to hear what the audience thinks as well, what they think for next week. The star count will go down by. It's great categorization, I think, for all the other tiers, but it's just that jackpot level. You know, where is the jackpot now? Is it podium? Is it? I see Sam says he reckons it just halves. A lot of people are going with clean percentages here. I see Germs Sorare going from 15 to 4, which is just under a third, basically. Yeah. So I'll wait until the poll closes. We're getting some people giving some insight to it as well, so feel free to add that in. Mickey Fu, the new card swap is more clear for the injury rule. The player has a long-term injury, 6 months plus, communicated by the club before the reward was delivered. So they're not taking tweets from injury mechanisms anymore or anything like that. You know, they want the club to say Sinise is out for 6 months.
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz is out for the remainder of the season. That's what they want to hear. Before they'll entertain it. You know, they're not going to take hearsay and, you know, blue tick Twitter accounts just saying he's out for 6 months, you know, just because people say that for clicks, you know.
100%. I hope they just, we have the new tiers, but we need the cards to be valued correctly. Like that's the main sort of issue with everyone as well, wasn't it? It was the DMPs, Agreed. It was, you know, injuries that happened that week and they're still in the prize pool, whatever. Goalkeepers that got dropped in that week, still in the prize pool. But ultimately, it was the valuation of the cards. Like that was it, right? So that, and does what they say or what they did say in that sort of press release thing? Does it really say? I mean, they're not going to come out and go like, we're now valuing, you know, or we're valuing cards and rewards correctly. Like they're not going to like bluntly say it like that. But you'd hope that somewhere that is the main problem that they're going to fix, right?
Well, let's look at the star pool here, right? Because we've been in this situation before, Harry. You're going to win a star, and you're like, oh, I hope it's not one of those crap stars, right? So let's have a look at the star pool, and where did the crap stars begin, right? So we've got Mbappe, Haaland, Kimi, Messi, Musiala, De Bruyne. Great. Tadic, Saka, Donnarumma. We're happy with them being stars? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Marmashvili, Alisson Becker, Van der Voort, Chevalier, Schlotterbeck, Upamecano, Odysseus. That's kind of, I don't know if they're stars, are they? Maybe some of them. No, Odysseus.
Yeah, I'd argue Odysseus would be. Okay. And then
Rashford, Verstegen, Carlos Heel, Ederson.
Yeah, I can't, yeah, keep going. Is there any?
Kane, Trent, De Gea, Cherky.
Kane, Trent, De Gea, Cherky. Yeah, okay.
Bakasetas, Oblak, Unerstal, Livakovic, Salah, Raya, Javi Simmons, Meslier, Druisi.
Yeah, that sounds a lot more tier 1-y to me, if I'm being honest. Like Salah doesn't, but it gets a bit iffy, doesn't it? A tiny bit.
Yeah, this is where it starts to break up, eh? You know, João Mario, Lafon, Odegaard, Gavi, Trippier, Timber. It's kind of a wee bit. Some of these are actually quite good, I suppose.
They're still good. Yeah, they're still great. It's hard though, isn't it? Like we say their name and we think they're great, but then like it ultimately falls on their score / it ultimately falls on their price, doesn't it? So, you know, that's kind of the issue with that, I guess.
Nick Olij, the goalkeeper for Sparta Rotterdam.
Yeah, just because you
got
Muani,
you know, some crappers in here, for stars.
100%. 100%. Yeah, that's where it gets a bit dicey, doesn't it? They're tier 1s, if we're being honest, aren't they?
Like top tier ones, like elite tier ones.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, 100%.
But when we see stars, we expect some of those like Salahs and whatever, and the guys at the very top. Of course, that's who we expect. But I think that's a great definition for what winning. So I think they've done quite well in that respect, because it's like winning a star. You want everyone, whenever you're winning a limited for the first time, a star limited, a star rare, you want it. You're so excited about it. You're like, oh, it could be,
Yeah,
And I guess
100%,
there'll be less of a payout. Less people will get that buzz, but it's just because they're properly categorized now.
There's less guesswork as well, isn't there now? In terms of like, I know we're lucky enough to say we've won star rares and stuff, but it applies anywhere, right? It's all relative. If there's just less players in that given tier, there's just less chance of you getting shit, basically. Not shit, but just not as good as what you would hope for,
Totally.
Like, yeah, it happens. It doesn't matter whether you're fishing in the star rare pool or the tier 3. You just, if there's less of them in there, they're more condensed, there's more quality within that tier, there's less chance of you being pissed off. It's kind of what that should really solve, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it'd be nice to see as well how the tails on these rewards go. So I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll close that poll in a minute or two. It's been going for 5 minutes. It's got 60 votes. There is over 190 Sorare scouts and managers from around the world joining us today. Wow, and a bunch of them only found us because we got to 115 likes, Harry. That's how the internet works. The more people like and comment, YouTube then gives us to more people and goes, here's Harry and Quinny. These are some good guys talking about football. So if you like me and Harry talking about football, hit the like button, guys. We're at 115. We should be at 150 because I know you guys are all pals here with us at this point. But so we'll close that. If we could get to 100 votes, I'd be quite happy with that. But let's maybe settle for 70 or so. But the next vote, Harry, right? Let's think about this.
Go on.
The total prize pot at the moment is 630. Now, they did say, this is for All-Star Rare still, right?
Okay, yeah.
Tier 3s go back to 630. They did say they're not going to be adding in any new cards into the pool, right? But with the further classification and with the fact that we know rewards are never, no card is ever fully issued as a reward, all issues or whatever. So there's plenty of, ammunition to come, as it were, in that respect. Will we ask a poll for what do we think the tail of this pool will change from 630 to 750, 800, 1,000? Will it stay the same? Will it go up, down?
We're basically betting on, are they going to... No, yeah, we're basically betting on, are they going to add DMPs in, isn't it? That's basically the poll.
It's kind of, how much tier 5s will be rewarded that maybe weren't previously rewarded? Maybe that's partly what the question is, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think they are effectively DM. Like, I just don't see where else they really come from, personally, right? Because tier 3s are now... And
it will be guys that are low value as well, because they do always try... They want to give us high value stuff. So, like, in every tier... There will just be guys that are really cheap that hardly ever come out because they don't want to piss somebody off.
That's fair. But I do think 90% of that tier 5 prize pool in my head would be DMPs. I just don't get where else you're getting them from.
Yeah,
really. But then the issue is, well, you could get a DMP Vert who's a star rare. Like,
quality.
That's that's kind of the thing. It's like, why can't they just use the VAT? But then their argument would be, well, if he was playing, he could be worth more and he could be auctioning for more and they'd be making more money off him. I don't know. It gets a bit intricate. I don't know. It's too much for my little peanut brain. But
join the club.
Yeah, that's kind of my thinking on that.
So I'm going to close that poll now. I think we've got a winner. Right, I'm just going to close it, but it's been going for 10 minutes. I think that's a good enough time for a poll. I'll give you a last little second. I know there's a bit of a delay, right? So last little second, we're about to close the poll. I'll give it an hour. I'll give it like 30 seconds, Harry. Last orders for the poll, and then we'll open a new one. What do we think the tail of this pool will become next weekend? Will it go up? I doubt it goes back, right? I don't think it goes smaller. I don't think that's possible, really. But yeah, does it stay the same? Does it go up? And then we'll get 4 options. So what do we think the 4 options would be, Harry? Like a big, a medium, and a bigger increase, and then stay the same? That'd be good 4 options, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so that poll is finished, and the majority of you guys believe that it will be 5-star rares next week. A lot of people said 10 as well, and then I've seen some actual responses in the chat of people saying 7. So maybe the consensus is probably 7 or so. So they're expecting it to half in essence. So let's try the tail of the pool, right? Let's get... Oh, sugar. Harry, I'll put your screen back on, buddy, if you want to show us in our team or something, or you're still got Questa there.
No, you can have a little look. I'm just I haven't done my training lineups yet, which I'll need to do, but just just going through, just scanning through my lineups. I mean, this is the bread and butter this week. All-Star Rare Pro. I've thrown Frankie Amaya in here. It impressed me in the opening game of the MLS on the weekend. He was taking a few set pieces, which I liked. He had a good AA score, even though I think he got booked as well. They're at home to Nashville, which I'm excited about. Timber captain, Cherokee in there. Visharan as well has been great, although they're away to Ghent, which isn't an amazing fixture, but I think he'll do well. And then Costa as well. I'm thinking Jack Newman starts again for Dundee this weekend, Quinn. I don't know if you know anything different, but
I don't know. A goalkeeper situation is dodgy, but the new manager.
Yeah, it is dodgy, isn't it? But I don't know. Everyone seems to think he's going to start again, so I've thrown him into Cap 240. I don't need to do this, but it just allows me to have better outfielders in Cap 240. Carlson tonight, Ukin tomorrow, Barrero tomorrow, and Mohamed Bouchari tomorrow as well for Emin. Cherokee, am I calling him Cherokee, Hendo? Pretty sure I'm calling him Cherokee. And then what else have we got in here? We've got under 23 rare. I've bought in Verbruggen, Big Bart, into the gallery. I traded one of my Pedris, and in return I got a Bart, some ETH, and James Sands. Ian, yeah, I'm not buying that. He had a stinker last week. I've seen the highlights. He didn't have a stinker. He was probably at fault for the first goal, but yeah, the rest just weren't on him. I'm sorry. You could argue the last goal he probably should have came out and stayed out, but he didn't. He retreated and they still scored. But no, I'm not really having that.
We've got a new poll out, Harry. I'll just explain the options I've put out there. So it's the total pool. So I've put 630 the same, less than 100. So if you think it's going to go up by maybe like 40 spots or something because of some extra cards, cool. I've then put total less than 1,000. So maybe you think it might go up to 800, 700, 900 or whatever, cool. And then I've put more than 1,000 if you think it was to go Balubas and the prize pool could double or something mad could happen. So they're the four kind of options. I don't think there's much of it's a wee bit of guesswork, Harry, isn't it? But it's just why to get everyone's kind of what their initial thoughts are, you know, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm still confused on my pronunciation of Cherokee.
Yeah, I've been dying to say it for a while, mate, but I always forget. It never comes up at a good time. But yeah, you always put Hendo says there, you always put an O in the middle, as if he's like a Native American or something.
Cherokee, where's the O there? Cherokee.
I can hear an O between R and K. I hear Cherokee when you say that.
Cherokee. There's definitely not an O coming out of my mouth there. I can't lie.
Maybe it's an accent thing then. I don't know.
Cherokee. I'm saying Cherokee. Where's? I just can't.
I hear what Hendo says. It must be an accent thing. Maybe the Scottish ear and the Welsh tongue. Maybe it's just the way we hear you speak. Maybe that's weird.
Strange. Very
I don't think it. The thing as well is I've never heard anyone else say it or anything.
Cherokee. I can see if I say that with Cherokee. There's kind of an O there, but Cherokee. Yeah.
I can hear it all.
Yeah, we've done the under 23 rare team. Obviously, we've gone over the rare this D2 team, which is an issue, and then I've thrown Varela now into Cap 240 alongside Nico Slattery. Big Brian hopefully gets a start for Newell's Old Boys, and Gaten Kuka wait to Antwerp, and then we've got an All-Star Rare Pro team, which is just leftovers really, which I'm not really too excited about, but it's another team. It's another chance for me to farm my coins, apparently.
I had a good laugh at all this.
Yeah, none of you are Welsh, lads. None of you understand, unfortunately. None of you had to grow up speaking Welsh and being told off by speaking English for 20 years of your life. Maybe there's a few Welsh guys in here. If there is, then shout out to you. But
Mickey Foo's got your back, I can see.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate it.
Lots of heroes and legends.
Other than that, I've not really got too much else going on. I am throwing out a semi-pro La Liga team, which is fun.
Ooh, nice.
With my Game Week 200 Special Edition Suso. This is the only limited card I have in the gallery. Alongside, little Villarreal, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid, Antoine Griezmann.
That's nice. That could do well, man.
Yeah, there's definitely scope for that to do well, actually. Hopefully, if Suso plays Atletico, which I do worry about, actually. But other than that, I kind of don't mind it. It's another team to farm the soul coins out of.
Big time. I've got some teams going out this week as well, Harry. I'm quite buzzing about. I've got a few teams that I think are proper dangerous, like proper dangerous. So like I've got the Celtic team going out as the big team in All-Star Super Rare. Away at St Mirren. I'm going to go with Marshall in goals, Captain Taylor, and I'm fighting for that. I'm fighting for this top 10. When I'm putting this team together, I'm thinking getting that top 10, get the cash banked, and then let's try and get some good card luck. Let's try and get some good pack luck along the way. And if it does hit big time, hopefully with the Celtic players I've got, I kind of avoid a lot of these rotation risks. I see people in the live chat now shouting at me, Quinny, Carter Vickers was not pictured in training today. I wouldn't read too much into that. Like, I doubt he's been given the day off. Like, 'cause it's just sometimes they're not in a picture. Like, but who knows? If you want to not play Carter Vickers, I'm not going to stop you. Feel free to rest him. So yeah, but I think All-Star Rare Pro, Harry, I'm super excited. Like, I've got the Celtic players, Joe Hart and Rio Hatate, super rare defender, and Captain Jota till I die up front. But in midfield, rare Wirtz, 9.5% at home to Berlin, and super rare Brais Mendes at home to Cadiz. Feels like apex build. Like, if I'm going to have a good shot at that top 30, that's the team to do it with, I think.
100%. I'm a bit delayed on your stream. I've still got the All-Star Super up, but that team looks amazing as well. Here we go. Yeah, I've got it, Bryce. Yeah, that's a really, really nicely built out team. Celtic stack, Vert at home, Bryce at home, and obviously big João Felipe.
Up front, loving it.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, do you not fancy captain in words? I know it's religion to captain Jota, but
yeah, I'm sticking with it, mate. It's just that's the way it goes. Then but then I'm not. Then I'm, it's consistent actions for consistent results. So
yeah, okay.
I stick by it. For Cap 270, Harry, I managed to build a quality team that I'm really excited about because all of them are at home in good fixtures, which is lovely for a super rare 270 lineup. So
yeah,
I've got Soria and Unal, the Getafe boys, top and bottom, and then Maffeo. Someone mentioned this in the live chat earlier, but Maffeo and Mallorca are at home to Elche. So we know what Mallorca are good at home, and Elche are bottom of the table and rubbish. So that could be good. I've got the boy Sebastian Lletget, captain. At home, Dallas against Galaxy should be good for him. And then Snoddy is at home at St Johnstone. And that should be a great game for Hearts. So aim for 2. And I think of this division is kind of like the old D2. So, like, it's only tier 1 super rares. That's all you used to get in there. But you've got the little caveat of a cheeky unique if you were to get on the podium.
And what does that come in as, Quinny, in terms of
points?
In terms of points.
Oh, hang on. Maybe I just deleted it. Please say I didn't. No, I didn't. Good. 260.
Okay, yeah.
So quite tight.
Yeah, quite tight on the cusp, but no, it makes sense.
So I quite like that. And then for 240 is where John McGinn is going to be running the show for me. Is regular viewers of the channel will know, Harry, most people have kind of caught on to this as well by this point. But with 240, the main formula, 5 starters, 2 decisives. And you'll be kind of all right. So I think I'll get that with this team. But with McGinn, Vega, and Maeda, they're all multi-decisive capable. Kufri, he's only played 1 game for New York. I don't know really how he's going to score over the season yet. And Skorupski is away to Torino, but he kept a clean sheet against Inter Milan. He's in great form. It's kind of hard to see what's a bad or a good fixture for him. He's just a good keeper,
Yeah.
So I'm hoping those guys can smash 250 with ease, and maybe if 1 or 2 of them really pop off, then again we're just then maybe get a card, and that'll be great fun or whatever.
Definitely.
But I think McGinn's got a good fixture, but I did struggle to play him over Brais. And I did struggle to play him over Lletget or Snodgrass because I just feel that those guys have got like Palace Villa. I think it could be 1-0 to somebody. Maybe even could be 0-0. I dare say I don't want to jinx it before I get there. But it's not a game where I think it's going to be all guns blazing and Villa are going to run them over and all that kind of thing.
Not particularly, but you'd be surprised. I don't know.
But you can't be surprised.
And if they do, I think
if
they do, I think McGinn will be heavily involved. If I'm honest.
I agree. And I was watching a thing on the Aston Villa Twitter where they did an interview with John McGinn talking about him, and I'm like, oh man, he's going to be in some form this weekend. And I was trying to work him up the priority list, but it's like I cannot play him over Brais at home at Cadiz. Like I cannot do that. No, and Lletget at home at Galaxy. Snodgrass takes so many set pieces that being at home against St Johnstone, and he's on anyway. I find it so hard to drop them.
I agree. Yeah, I think you've done the right thing in terms of prioritization. 100%. But I still think
240. Sorry, I was just going to say
something. Go on.
No, I agree with you. I was just going to say Cap 240 is all about consistent actions for consistent rewards. Going again with the New York City stack again. Didn't bag me Eve last weekend, so I'm hoping to do it this week against Chicago.
Yeah.
But Harry, we have welcomed back Memphis Depay back into FC Barcelona, and he's got it back in his contract. His agent did some good work. He's always going to be captain again. It is in his contract. We've not got the OG Memphis back, but we've got a Barcelona Memphis. So I expect him to start, and he's going to destroy your Tanguy Nianzou this week. It's going to be all about Depay and Griezmann up front. I cannot wait to see it. He's accompanied by the Goldfather, Ryan Gold in midfield, Rio Hatate forward card. Angelino is playing Mainz. He's either going to do 25 or 65, maybe 90 if I'm super lucky. And then Oblak again in goals at home to Sevilla with a 10% multiplier as my all-star rare team, Harry. This team could pop off a big score.
It could, mate. There's potential hundreds in there. Gold, Depay, Hatate, and even Angelino if he can get a couple of assists on the board and keep a cleanie, which will be tough away to Mainz. But there's definitely some high-scoring cards there. Big upside.
So try and get top 100 and then hopefully try and get a wee bit better with the card or whatever. And then I ended up with a Challenger Euro team that I couldn't put anywhere. And I was like, I'll just put it in Challenger Europe Rare because that's just only, why not? I'm not trying to play this division or whatever, but I had basically a full stack spare. Yeah. Marshall Taylor, Snoddy, Maeda, Furuhashi. All guys I've got at super rare level, in fact. Just didn't have a place for their rare anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then unique kickoff. Gordon's broke his leg. I know he's not playing. Tierney is probably going to come off the bench. But Illich has got a great game, but he's playing my goalkeeper. And I can't really put Illich further up this priority list. There's other really good midfielders at the club already. And Marcos Llorente, again, should play against Sevilla. And he gets into this team. And then Edouard is probably on the bench and comes off of it for Crystal Palace. He's the captain for this unique kickoff thing. There's only 3 cards paid out. Not holding my breath on it. Say it's a DNP goalkeeper. But the midfield could score well enough if Tierney gets minutes. And then if Edouard got a goal, I wouldn't rule out this thing coming in third.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. If Tierney can come on and grab a DA or something late on, and same for Edouard, whether he starts or not, I don't know. But yeah, that's all you really need. It's 2 DAs and then the team's alive. I know that's asking arguably for quite a lot out of 5 players, but stranger things have happened, Quinny. Stranger things have definitely happened.
Big time. I spoke about it earlier, but this is the Cap 270 limited team for the Road to Glory series. So we've got Etienne Vassen, the guy just bleeds 50s. Doesn't matter who he's playing or how many goals he concedes. He's going to get 50 points on the board before multiplier. Ferro is at home for Hajduk Split. Rio Hatate is captain. Daniel Wass is away against a decent opponent. Last week it was a bit tougher for him. And Magno, we're going after it with Chicago. Chicago, New York is always goals galore. It's always a crazy game on the scoreboard. And I think that'll be a good game for the neutrals to watch. And the Road to Glory, any card that this team wins, Harry, and in this division, this team, I think it's good enough. I'm sure the people at home will agree. They built it. But this team is capable of getting star limiteds and tier 2 rares this game week. And anything it does win, I give away to the Road to Glory series as a reward to the viewers, the members, the So Rare scouts and managers from around the world that tune into the content. So if you're after a neutral team to support, this is the team I want to see you all getting behind, guys. On that note, if I can have a slight tangent in here, Harry, I'm sorry to cut you off before you get going there, right?
No,
but there's a new tab on So Rare, right? So if you do want to follow that team and see how it does, if you go onto So Rare and make sure you follow me at Quinny, and if you make sure you follow Harry, there's a new tab here. It's called Managers for me, but for everyone else I speak to, it's called Network. But for me, it's called Managers, and you can see who you're following, and you can see their Hall of Fame, etc. But then what you can do, if you follow me, is you can go into the leaderboard as it's on in the game week, and you can filter by the team or by people you follow, being me. And then you'll be able to see where this team is on the leaderboard for Cap 270 through the game week and cheer us on into the prize pools with your thoughts and prayers, everyone. So just a wee kind of side kind of thing to go with that team that I just kind of thought about as we were talking about it, Harry. And the final team that I've built, I've got 2 teams, but the final team that I've built with any sort of mild confidence is an under 23 rare team. I've not played this division in forever.
Ooh, okay.
But Tani's meant to start, Guardiola's meant to start, Ferran Torres is meant to start. So hey, I was like, why not put pieces around them? Tati Castellanos is on 11.5% multiplier. Eo Tanaka is on max XP as well. So I'm not holding my breath on it, but it's under 23s, man. Anything could happen.
Yeah, no, there's some names in there, 100%. That can, if Ferran does well at home. Remember this, I'm saying it now. If Ferran starts, I guarantee you he scores against Valencia X Club. You've heard it here first. 191 people watching. Remember this when Barcelona play on the weekend. If Ferran starts, he scores. Fact.
Nice. And the last team I actually picked was actually the kind of, you won't believe this is the scraps in my gallery, Harry. Like, this is the last team I picked, right? Cap 270. Sean Johnson in goals, 11.5% multiplier. Andy Robertson in defence. Liverpool v Man United. It's the only defender I've got left. I could maybe play Pablo Mari, but he came off injured last week, and apparently no one's saying he's injured now. But I find that dodgy, and I'd rather avoid it if I can.
Yeah.
And then Play Sharper has Carlos Soler to start in midfield, so he would go into this team as captain. And then I've got Ward-Prowse and Facundo Bayo up front. And I could swap Bayo for Hebert, who's at home, Seattle versus RSL.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think Hebert might start again, you know.
But he was 65% to start Hebert. And I think even if he starts, he's not 90 minutes. Whereas I think Bayo's 90 minutes. That's the only difference I made between
90
them.
minutes score you goals? Is the question you've got to ask yourself. It only takes 1 minute to score a goal.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to close this poll and I'm going to open a new one. Hebert or Bayo, because I would like to hear what everyone else thinks.
Has he scored yet, Bayo?
Yeah. He's hit us since returning to Belgium, 67, 62, 36, 22. He had 3 BCMs last week.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, okay.
41% of the poll think that the reward pool will remain the same, 630 cards. Interesting.
Makes sense.
So we'll start a new poll. Bayo or Hebert is the striker for this team. Start a poll.
Quinny, I also need you to, because you did lose the episode on my channel, you do need to give away a very small limited card to somebody in the comment section.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll probably need to do that after the stream, because I had a few comments saying, "How do we know who won?" Blah 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 blah. To be fair, in the second episode with you, I did tell people who won the first episode, but I didn't do it yesterday with Sam. So, yeah, just to remind you, just in case I forget. Hebert or Bayo?
I've got that in the poll now. Hebert or Bayo? Let me know, guys. Vote as quickly as you can. The deadline is fast approaching. It's 14 minutes away. 190 Sorare scouts and managers from around the world having a great time. 122 have told us so. They've liked it, Harry. I would like to think, but there's 150 friends here that would be very happy to like the stream and help us out, you know.
Surely.
And who are we picking, guys? Facundo Bayo or Hebert? Let us know.
Yeah. I've done my training lineups are in, so there's nothing else I can really do at this point other than pray to the Sorare gods.
We've got a lovely guy in the chat here. I'm a Palace fan, and I think Edouard will start. Zaha is back, so we'll be able to set up differently. And most of the fan base are asking for Mateta to be dropped. Oh, my God. That gives me a quandary. Well, I've not really got... It's like, it just makes it hard then. Edouard's a fun card.
Yeah.
Do we think he starts? Do you really think he's going to start?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the fans don't pick the team, Quinny, is one thing I've learned in this...
True.
In this world. Do you know what I mean?
True.
We're fans for a reason. Do you know what I mean? If we're being brutally honest about it. We're not the manager. We're not qualified for that position.
Let me see him back in action, I think. I love that intel. I hope he plays. I'm going to keep him in that team, but because what I would need to do is destroy my 270, which I think is a really good 270, as we've seen earlier.
Yeah.
And make it a Champ Euro team with Edouard as the striker. That's what I would need to do, probably. And I'm not really up for that, even if I think he will. I don't know, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, it is tough. It's tough.
We've got 50 votes in a minute on Bayo Hebert. Guys, I'm going to close this poll in like 3 minutes. So if you're going to vote now. Get it done rapid. I'm seeing,
well, for good reason. Like, there's just so many more entrances this week, and it's because obviously the coin thing, isn't it? Because if you enter a lineup, and it scores above 100, you get coins, right? But and I've done it myself with the draft, but I'm seeing there's some massive numbers. 23,000 in All Star Limited, right? There's 28,000 in Cap 240 Limited. 15,000 players in Cap 270 Limited, 9,000 in Challenger Limited, 5,007 in the Semi-Pro Premier League. That's gone up quite a bit. There's 2,400 in the Pro. I think that's gone up like 20%. I think it's around 2,000 last time. What else are we looking at? 7.5k in All-Star Rare, 2.3k in All-Star Rare Pro, 9,000 in Cap 220, 15,000 basically in Cap 240, 4,000 in Cap 270 Rare. Some big numbers here, but you just don't know how many of these actually, have 5 starters, if that makes sense. Probably, a decent amount of them, but or maybe even just 5 players who have games. I mean, there'll be a few lineups in these numbers that just don't have 5 players having games.
Of course,
if that makes sense. So yeah, nearly 2K in under 23 rare is massive. Jesus, 745 players in under 23 rare pro. That is huge. I've never seen it that high. Haber wins, Quinny.
Yeah,
Haber wins. Come on, get him in.
We'll play Haber over Bio then. Now let's see who's going to get the hat-trick now, eh? Yours going to be Bio, don't you? Right, okay,
Bio can score in a brothel.
Oh, right, okay. Well, let's see it. Let's hope Haber runs the show, man. I know Seattle are talking good. He's on 10.5%, which is fun as well. So let's put Haber in.
Yeah, get him in. Get him in.
I'm dead training as well. For anyone that's worried about my training teams, they are in. So don't panic. They are in, just about.
Nearly 1,000 in Cap 240 super rare is huge, really, isn't it?
That is big.
For super rare, like, Jesus. That seems very, very large.
What division was that, sorry? 1,000 for super rare what?
Cap 240.
Oh, wow.
969.
That is eye-catching.
It's big, isn't it?
I've never seen 1,000 in a super rare division.
Have you not? That'll be the closest. This will be the closest, I think.
Maybe All-Star, actually. How many is an All-Star?
445 in All-Star.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've ever had more than 1,000.
Yeah, I don't think we have we? Yeah.
People will be targeting that alone. DNP goalkeeper, 4 starters.
True. Yeah.
The old 100%. Threshold style.
Yeah. Just Mike, it says, thoughts on that under 23 pro team? Does Rodrigo start away to Betis? I'd be a little bit cautious, I can't lie.
Let's go and check the team out. We didn't do Spain properly.
Well, he didn't start last night against Barca. He came on, didn't do much. Yeah, I don't know. There is a conundrum there to work out between like him, Asensio, if he's still not injured.
Looks to be strong. Play sharper says it's Courtois, Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger, Nacho. Cruz 60%, Tchouameni 70%, Ceballos 75%, Valverde 70%, Benzema 70%, Vinny 90%.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a risk there. But the thing is, just Micah, you could come off the bench and score a goal or two quite easily. So I don't think you have to worry about it too much. But there is definitely risk there. I wouldn't lie. To you. Gertruda, Wirtz, Kakure. Yeah, this is a good team. It is a good team. Only choices. Hugo Duro. Yeah, stick with Rodrigo then. And if he's a super rare as well, he's just good for a goal off the bench. You're basically at 75, 76, 77 points. So yeah, I'd probably stick with Rodrigo.
I know that I don't know if they're reliable, but Sportsmo says Edouard starts as well. Oh, this is giving me a problem, man. I'm going to be going in this game week knowing I've got a lovely card. I'm going to be watching play football in front of me, and it's in a dead team. That's what I'm worried about, Harry. My heart is going to try and take over my head.
I know what you're like when it comes to things like this. I don't know. I wouldn't bother risking it. He's going to come off the bench, but I just don't know if. I don't know.
So I can't really think of a better team to put him in because I need to destroy 270, 100%, and I need to make it a champion team. And in the champion team, what would it be? It'd be Soria, Maffeo. Who would be in midfield? Probably Illich. Then I don't think that's Braze. I'd want Braze in that team, but then that takes away from this. Yeah, it's not worth it, I don't think. No. I just wish I just wish I knew Tierney. If a new Tierney would start, then I could deal with that as a 4-man. Do you know what? Screw it. The team's fine, right? The team's fine. If Tierney starts and he gets a minute, the team's fine. If Edouard starts, the possibility of getting on the podium is just higher. That's all it is. Same strategy. Yeah. This is just good news at the strategy I already had. I don't need to change strategy. Stay focused.
Yes. No digressing.
That's it. We're 6 minutes to the deadline, Harry boy. Do you feel that you're ready? Are you locked in?
No, I'm definitely not ready. I mean, I'm locked in, but I'm definitely not ready. I'm still not convinced on the Questa shout. I know I'm definitely. I'm at peace with not playing Zaidu. I'll be honest. I am definitely at peace with that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plans out. It's sometimes the teams that you don't really have like that good of a. I don't know. I'm not hopeful, but I'm not like, wow, this team's a smash. Like sometimes the ones that just aren't smashes on paper just turn out to be smashes.
Yeah.
So I'm I'll just sort of play it how it goes and just enjoy the weekend for what it is. I'll be at a game, so I'm going to be buzzing regardless. I'm not really going to be too worried about my Sorare scores whilst I'm watching football be played at the Emirates Stadium, which will be so fun.
I hope Tierney gets 45 minutes and an assist or something. We've got Surya Josh saying that Tierney is very much going to be on the bench and he might start because there's Europa League coming. I think he is the Europa League player for Arsenal quite firmly from what I've seen this season. But I hope he gets some minutes, man, because they need to get him warm to play a game like that. You know, he needs to get minutes.
Yeah, it depends. It depends how early on they can wrap that game up, isn't it? If it's wrapped up by half time, if it's 2 or 3-0 at half time, then that's when, he's going to come on 45th, maybe 60th. That's kind of I think the game plan if all goes to plan for Arsenal against Bournemouth.
Yeah, I hope so, man. And again, we've got Will Drake here saying as an Arsenal fan, basically, he won't start, but he should get subbed on. And Zinchenko is just the key man for them in terms of their build-up in that inverted fullback spot.
He's too good on the ball, man. You just can't in that Arsenal system. He's just too valuable, way too valuable. Tierney's great. He's direct. He's powerful. He can run. And he can cross a ball, but Zinchenko can do all that minus all the physicality. But he's just so good inside, in those like false fullback positions and in centre mid. He's just phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure, man. Big fan of Zinchenko. Really nice card as well. I think his unique's actually up there now.
Oh yeah, interesting.
I think so. Some nice uniques up there now. Yeah, Zinchenko goes in 3 hours.
Okay. What do you reckon that goes for? It's got to be 5 or 6 ETH.
Oh,
4 or 5 ETH maybe? I don't know.
Is it 1 now?
Yeah. What's it at 1? Is it 1 now?
L5 or 61. He's
okay.
Killing it, man. See with this card, right? This is what confuses me, right? Or not confuses me, but it gives me a dilemma, right? He's a midfielder. We all know the penalty of fullbacks. He's a bit of a different fullback and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But with it not being a defender, obviously you don't get the clean sheet bonus, but you also don't suffer goals conceded as harshly. You don't suffer possession lost as harshly either. So for that inverted fullback type of guy, do you want a Zinchenko as a mid or a defender?
I think you always want him as a defender because Arsenal, like for this weekend, you'd prefer him as a defender card because they're probably going to get a clean sheet. He's going to be on the ball all the time. If he's crossing the ball and making loads of assists, then, the attempted assist is like 3 points, I think, or whatever it is. And then you've got big chance created. I don't know. Yeah. I think you want him as a defender card personally.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's like I'm not too put off that he's a midfielder in that sense, but let me check the difference. Yeah, so the defender card on the midweek would have scored 100, Quinny. The midfielder scores 86. Like, that's the difference in this. When that clean sheet pops in, it's just massive. The game before that, they beat Leicester away. He scored 65 as a mid. He would have scored 81 as a defender. So it is a big difference. What about in that Villa game where he conceded? Okay, so yeah, in the games that Arsenal concede goals, he's going to score better as a mid, basically, is the best way to look at it, I think.
Yeah. Which
makes sense, doesn't it? You're just not getting the clean sheet bonus. Yeah, it's interesting.
So I'm interested to see where it goes for. It's a nice card, man. But...
It is a nice card, yeah. I bought one of my friends who I'm taking to the game, a limited Zinchenko a couple of weeks ago, as a thank you for taking me to the airport for that PSG game. So I think he's happy because the price of Zinchenko's basically doubled since.
Yeah.
Like legit doubled.
Some people are saying that now at Arsenal, blah, definitely a midfielder, but what if he leaves Arsenal? Would you still imagine he was playing in midfield all of a sudden? And so it's one of these ones because it's a funny one. Anyway, I see him as a midfielder, and I think, like, I know people will look at the SRD score and think, like, oh, he should be better as a defender, but, like, in reality, like, clean sheets are so bloody hard to come by, and they're not that frequent.
They're not. No, they're not.
And I think,
but neither are 100 scores. Do you know what I'm saying? Neither are scoring 100. So that's like, it just makes sense, doesn't it? If teams don't get clean sheets that often, when they do, you want your like golden cards to be in their best position to hit. Do you know what I'm saying? To hit those big peak scores because that's where you're going to win those big rewards, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Hendo's off now. Got to run. Hendo, have a great weekend, fella.
Hendo joins us for his lunch as ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're at the final minute, guys. So we're locked and loaded for the game week. I wish everyone luck, of course. I think we're just about there. 3, 2, we caught it on timer this time. Boom, wow. We are locked in.
Boom, boom, boom.
Starts in now. All the teams are locked in. I didn't go through my drafts. I don't think I'm that excited about them anyway, so I'm not too fussed. But that's us, Harry boy. We're locked and loaded. So tonight, I think Leipzig Dortmund.
It's the big one.
Fun. Yeah, for tonight.
Benfica Famalicão as well for me. I'll be keeping tabs on that. That's 9:15, I think, a little bit later. I think AZ play tonight as well, Quinny, away to Vitesse. We didn't really mention that today, but yeah, they play away to Vitesse, but then they also play midweek against Lazio. So that'll be a big game for them. I didn't prioritize my Carlson this week. I played him in my Cap 240 lineup. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. You'll probably end up scoring 100, and I'll just be kicking myself, of course.
Same with Edouard.
Same with Edouard. Yeah, Edouard will score 2 away to Villa. Are you in? What end are you in? Do you know?
Bit of Villa end.
Yeah, I've been to Villa's ground actually. I went to watch Cardiff City when Cardiff were in the Prem. I went to Villa's ground once on just a Cardiff away day. So obviously I was in the Cardiff end, but nice ground. Really, really good atmosphere, to be fair. Really good.
I look forward to it. It is one of those historic grounds, you know, like
my memory. It's very similar to Celtic, mate, in a weird way. Like,
oh, cool.
Yeah, even
well, mate, it's funny you say that because seeing like old FIFAs,
yeah,
used to take Villa Park to pretend it to be Celtic Park.
No way, that's so funny. Yeah, honestly, the brickwork, brickwork outside is very similar. Very, very similar, actually, thinking about it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Because I always remember Villa Villa Park always stood out to me as being a special stadium when I was young, because I remember when I was young, FA Cup semi-finals were played at Villa Park.
Oh, it was there, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, that's a really cool thing. That's their stadium. Like that's, you know, if I was my team, I'd be proud about that. You know that.
100%.
You know, so like, yeah, I'm buzzing for it in that sense.
Yeah,
Sam's asking me what stand I'm in. Right. 2 seconds, I'll let you know. It's actually great that Sam's here as well, because see, as soon as I press stop on this stream, Harry, the latest episode of Looking Up with Laird is on premiere now on Sorare TV, and everyone who's here live now, you don't even need to go anywhere. I just hit end stream and you'll just roll into some of that fun stuff with Sam Ty, the football guy who's in the live chat with us, and Harry Trades, who's obviously the other side of me here. Let me see my tickets. Sorry, Sam, and I'll tell you what stand I'm in. Now, the price on them wasn't, normally it's like VIPs and stuff like that, but I've seen the tickets today. I think they're definitely the cheap seats, I think anyway. It says Trinity Road stand upper.
Okay.
Trinity Road stand upper. Sam Ty.
Joe says he's in the Holt end.
I don't know what that means. Trinity stand upper is where you'll see Quinny, Stish and the Party Boys getting stuck into the game week.
Is there a price on your ticket, Quinny? There wasn't any price.
There is.
On mine.
There's a price on it. Yeah, I won't share it on camera, but it's not.
No.
Right, Celtic ticket, I'll tell you that. You see the price on the Celtic ticket, you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I did see the price. I've still got the picture of on my phone. Yeah. I did like there's a thing you can do like Emirates View Stadium. And yeah, basically I could see the seats that I'll be in tomorrow, but I'm pretty high up, but I'm literally bang on halfway line, I think. So it should be a really, really good view. Yeah, no, I'm just buzzing for it. Really, really excited.
Oh, Sam's saying me that's a good stand. That's buzzing.
Wayne says, Wayne's going to be there, is he?
Yeah, Wayne. Try and get a wee pint or something. I was just going to say, but Harry, travel safe. Yeah. Good luck this game week, buddy.
Yeah, drive safe.
First bumps to everyone at home. Good luck to all yous as well.
Yeah, massive good luck everyone at home or wherever you're watching this right now. Yeah, massive game week. Make sure you're collecting your soul coins. And yeah, make sure hopefully you're winning some cards alongside some ETH as well. But yeah, really, really excited for this game week. And
here comes. Oh no, actually, I don't think 2 seconds. I need to actually put the redirect on because this is a new stream. 2 seconds. 2 seconds, guys. I just need to click some buttons and then I'll kick these off the stream. Okay, so it should all be there by the time I click the button. But anyway, good luck to everyone this week. As soon as I've got this set up, it will just take you all over to Sorare TV to watch that if you want to do that. And let's say save. Should be in. I think we're all good. Harry,